They never asked for my consent. In the records of House Hale, I do not exist. 5 years ago, when the crown demanded levies, every household in the province was ordered to present a name. My brother's was drawn: Ethan Hale, scholar, prodigy, the future. My parents made their decision before the ink on the lot had dried. He has a life ahead of him, my father said, not unkindly, just firmly. You understand what must be done. I did understand. I just refused. They didn't argue again. That night, the wine was drugged. I woke in chains. By the time I realized what had happened, I was already miles from home, sold. Not sent, not to the palace. To something far worse. The Black Guard did not recruit. They acquire men without names. Men without futures. Men no one would look for. Training was not meant to be survived. The first winter took half of us. By the second year, I stopped counting the dead. By the third, I stopped remembering my own name. Until the rebellion, a prince with nothing to lose needed ghosts to fight his war. We were given a choice: die forgotten, or become something else. Ichose. 5 years later, the capital celebrates a different story. Ethan Hale stands at its center. First scholar of the realm, beloved by court and crown alike, a symbol of order restored after chaos, and today I return. The Hale estate glowed with lantern light. Music spilled into the streets. Laughter followed. They had rebuilt everything. Even their reputation. No one recognized me at the gates. That was expected. Inside, I found them exactly as I had left them. My father, older but proud. My mother, smiling carefully. And Ethan radiant in silken gold, surrounded by those who fed on rising stars. Lucas, my father said, when he finally saw me. A pause. Measured. Calculated. Then, a smile. You've come back. Not welcome home. Just acknowledgement. Clara stood beside Ethan. She did not try to hide her recognition or her contempt. You chose an interesting day to return, she said lightly. People tend to follow success. Ethan approached last. Always last. Always where the attention was. Brother, he said, quietly. So only I could hear. Not here. I almost smiled. They had done well. Very well. They had buried me so completely that even they believed it. Then the announcement came: a royalimbo, a marriage proposal. A minister's daughter. A step closer to power. Ethan accepted before the envoy finished speaking. Of course he did. Only then did he glance at Clara. You've served your purpose, he said, almost gently. You may remain. If you understand your place. No one objected. Not even her. That was when I spoke. For the first time since entering, I'm not here for the celebration. The music faltered just slightly. I'm here on crown business. Silence followed. The kind that spreads slowly before anyone realizes why. Ethan turned to me. Still smiling, but less certain now. What kind of business, he asked, would bring you here? I met his eyes. For the first time in 5 years. Examination fraud. Now the silence broke. Laughter. Outrage. Disbelief. A serious accusation, the envoy said sharply. It is, I agreed. Then I reached into my coat and placed a sealed document on the table. Marked with the sigil of the Black Guard. That ended the laughter. I've been authorized to investigate, I said, and to detain suspects. No one spoke. Until Ethan did. This is absurd, he said. Calm. Calmed. Controlled. Practiced. Is it? I asked. And then the gates opened. Not violently. Not dramatically. But with the quiet certainty of men who do not expect resistance. Soldiers entered. Not many. They didn't need to be. At their Centera child. No crown. No ceremony. Yet every man in the courtyard lowered his head. The king had arrived. He looked around, confused for only a moment, until his eyes found me. And then he ran. Where did you go? The courtyard froze. The boy stopped in front of me and grabbed my sleeve like it was the most natural thing in the world. You said you'd be back. No one moved. No one breathed. I rested a hand lightly on his shoulder. I was delayed. The envoy was the first to kneel. Then the others followed, one by one, like a structure collapsing. Ethan did not kneel immediately. He was still trying to understand. Your Majesty, he said carefully. This man is the boy frowned. He doesn't kneel, the king said. It was not a question, it was a fact. And in that moment everything changed. I looked back at Ethan. Now, I said quietly, shall we continue the investigation?